Mercedes has built more than 10 million C-classes since 1982, if you count the 190, which was also known as the Baby Benz at the time. A real sales hit. In times when SUVs are increasingly dominating the market, the mid-size saloon has to pull out all stops to hold its own. This C-Class wants to be an S-Class in a small and affordable form. A lot of technology and many design elements come from the luxury saloon here in the middle class. In today's luxury check, we find out how much glamour is really in the C-Class. And then we take a look at the engines. Something quite significant has changed there. From the outside, modernized, but by no means revolutionized. The silhouette is strongly reminiscent of its predecessor. Although the wheelbase of the C-Class grows by 25mm to 2.87 meters, the boot capacity remains the same at 455 litres. The occupants in the front and rear benefit from the larger dimensions. The driver's seat has that S-Class feeling. As in the luxury saloon, a touch display measuring up to 12.3 inches dominates the very tidy centre console. The flattened, turbine-look air vents have been redesigned for the C-Class. The Estate also makes its debut at the same time as the saloon. While the Estate is the first choice in Europe, the saloon sells better in China, the largest sales market. C-Class, E-Class, CLA, CLS. Some of you may ask what's in front of me right now. A few design tweaks might have done the C-Class some good, but the advantage is, of course, that the family face is preserved, and even when the car is on the road in the distance, it is immediately recognizable as a Mercedes. Let's take a look under the bonnet. I've already announced it, a big innovation in the engines. From now on, the C-Class will no longer be available with a 6-cylinder engine. Only 4-cylinder engines are now fitted. The larger of the 3 petrol engines, the C300, is now installed. Then there are 2 diesels, and the special thing about all the vehicles now is that they come as mild hybrids. Even the diesels always have a 20 horsepower electric motor on board, for cruising and to boost. And also on board, a plug-in hybrid. And that, and now brace yourselves, can even drive 100 kilometers purely on electric power. That's still a benchmark, at least for the moment. The 2-litre petrol engine in the test car produces 258 horsepower and 400 newton-meters of maximum torque. The electric motor boosts with 20 horsepower and 200 newton-meters. Even the AMG versions, which previously had a V8, will get a 4-cylinder with electric motor boost. The refined driving experience of a luxury saloon is not only available in the S-Class, but now also here in the C-Class. Starting with this, you get in and have the interior of the S-Class in front of you. With the 2 big screens here, with the air vents in the middle, it looks very luxurious, and also when you're on the road in the car, it's all very smooth, very pleasant, quiet, like in a luxury limousine. For example, we have the all-wheel steering on board, where the rear wheels steer with or against you by 2 degrees, depending on whether you need more driving stability or a smaller turning circle. Digital light is another highlight that finds its way from the S-Class into the C-Class. The light in the headlamp is refracted by 1.3 million micro mirrors and can thus communicate with road users by means of projections on the road. And it's not just the light that's digital. MBUX is the name of the user interface here in the C-Class, and it also has a lot to offer. For example, one thing I've never heard of before, a power nap function. You can use the menu and the comfort settings to play a certain ambience here in the car. For example, a forest clearing, a few quiet sounds, and then you can sit at a service station for a few minutes and close your eyes. In addition, the car can now communicate with the home. Provided you have a smart home, you can ask the car if the lights are on, if someone is home, or if the heating is still on. And of course, there's also the wonderful function, "Hey Mercedes."
What can I do for you?
Where in the car is the first aid kit?
When the car is delivered, the first aid kit is located in the luggage compartment on the right-hand side.
Look, not only commands like "make it a little warmer," "make it a little colder" are possible, but also practical things like that. The luxury factor is also very high in the Mercedes mid-range. No wonder then that the C-Class is the most successful model series over the decade. 2.5 million units of the previous fourth generation alone were built. The recipe for success of the C-Class actually remains the same, transplanting innovations and design elements from the luxury class into the mid-size class. And the result is indeed the feeling of sitting in a luxury saloon, except that you still fit into small parking spaces and don't have to spend a fortune. And on the subject of spending, in Germany the saloon starts at around 44,000 euros, the estate at just under 46,000 euros. But with extras at extra cost, everything is up for grabs for the Swabians as usual.